Hey guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin. Today we're unboxing the Pixel 3a XL. So, Google sent me this nice big box here, hashtag Team Pixel, and there's a lot of stuff in there. I did take a peek inside because they really only told me that they were sending me a Pixel 3a, so I wasn't sure if it was the 3a or the 3a XL. So we've got this nice Google bag here. Okay, a couple other things. Here's the device itself, and we have a case, which is the same case. I have my Pixel 3 XL here. Same kind of fabric case that they're introducing with this device. A pop socket, Team Pixel pop socket. All right, and try 1 month free of Google Fi. Hashtag Team Pixel. Google Pixel 3a is finally here. So that's what's in the box. In the big box. We're going to get to this box in a moment. So Google announced this device at its I/O Developer Conference this week. And it said something, it was widely rumored. I don't think anybody was surprised at what actually showed up here. So they said, they got on stage and they said something interesting because I've never heard any OEM say it in public before, which is that the price of flagship phones is going up and up and up. And so Google wanted to deliver flagship features in a phone that doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, really. This device right here, the Pixel 3 XL, it costs $899. This one costs under $500. In fact, the regular Pixel 3a only costs $399. It's got a Snapdragon 670 chipset. So it is considered high-end, not premium high-end, just high-end. 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage, which this also has 4 gigs of RAM. So you are getting a solid experience, and it's supposed to have all those Pixel 3 features. It's supposed to have the same great camera with Nitesite. One feature that I particularly love about the Pixel 3, which this also has, is that see how it has an always on display here, and if you're playing music, it just tells you on the always on display what song is playing. You don't have to go open up Shazam or anything like that. It just kind of works. So this is, like I said, the XL. It's got a 6-inch display, no notch, which is fantastic. I've heard it criticized for not having a full screen display, and I gotta say, I don't share that. This notch is hideous on the Pixel 3 XL. It's just awful. So it's been criticized already for not having that full top to bottom display. And I disagree. I think a little bit of bezels is actually a good thing. And I wish more companies realize that. It's got wider side bezels as well. And it makes the phone easier to hold when you have a little bit of bezel. So the device we've got here is called Purple-ish. All right. I'm just going to open this up. And it wraps around. So we are pulling off the screen protector. There's no option there. So it has a pretty big chin, a top bezel which is really around the size of the bezel of the notch on the Pixel 3 XL. I'm going to start booting this up, and like I said, you can see the bezel size around the same size as the notch on this phone. Okay, side bezel, it's fine. It looks a little dated as far as bezels go, and I think that's fine. Let's see what else is in the box. We got some paperwork and a SIM pin right here. We have a USB Type-C to Type-C cable, which is always nice. A Type-C to Type-A adapter, if I can get this out of the box. All right, and we're going to have a power adapter in here. USB Type-C, supports 18-watt fast charging, which is nice. The bad news, no wireless charging on either of them, which is kind of a bum deal if you ask me. The phone is made of plastic, which is kind of nice because I like plastic phones. I think it's okay to make nice plastic phones. A lot of companies have went away from that. A lot of companies just go, well, most phones are just glass now. And obviously you can do wireless charging through glass, just like you can through plastic. And I think a lot of companies just gave up on plastic because it doesn't seem to look premium, but I disagree. One thing that's cool about a Type-C to Type-C cable is that it's easy to simply copy all your accounts and data from one phone to the next. And if you don't have one, you can easily use the adapter that's in the box. And that's, I guess, assuming that your old phone uses micro USB because you have that Type-C to Type-C cable. All right, so here we have it, the Pixel 3a XL. Like I said, the sizes of the two devices aren't that different. In fact, the body's just about the same, surprisingly. So the screen's a little bit bigger on the full Pixel 3 just because it has that notch. All right, and yeah, it's you got a bigger chin on the side. Both of them have OLED, which is cool. So this is a 1080p OLED 6-inch display, and really, if you're looking for a smaller phone, this is not it. The regular Pixel 3a, it has a 5.6-inch screen, and it's really nice. Also 1080p. All right, so we have our Pixel features that we're used to. You can install the Android Q beta on this, and single 12 megapixel camera. It's very much like a Pixel 3 XL in a smaller body. Obviously, no wireless charging, like I mentioned earlier. We got the Google Pixel, the Google Camera app, and we have our different features here. It does support 4K video, although obviously not. See, this is 60 frames per second. We're going to have to go into settings to turn on 4K, and that would be 30 frames per second only. Obviously, if you want 4K 60 frames per second, you need something with a Snapdragon 845 or higher. But 4K 30 frames per second in a phone that's under $500 or the $400 Pixel 3a is pretty good. So we should also be able to look. There's Nitesite, which is a feature that we all love. Doesn't seem to have the playground feature that we've seen in other Pixels, and we can see that here. It might just be because the apps haven't installed yet. You do need some third-party apps for that, but what you can do is you can add stuff like that. You can add 9 Avengers ones. I thought I had that, but so you can add AR characters on top. If we go here, right? So there was a Stranger Things one, so we can just kind of throw this guy on top of the table here, and it's not there. If it doesn't show up, that's going to be a bummer. I hope it does. So I did try to force install the Playground app, and we'll see if we can. We'll see if we can come back to that and we'll see if it works. But other than that, this pretty much is the same Pixel that you know and love. I mean, you really can't tell the difference from the back. Except, well, maybe the body of the 3a XL is a little bit bigger. But fingerprint sensor, right where you're used to it. Single lens, 12 megapixel camera. The module seems to be a little bit bigger on the 3a XL. The flash is a little bit bigger on the 3XL. The buttons, right where you left them. It's a very similar device, which is really cool. The thing that's really cool about that is that it's just over half the price. I mean, the Pixel 3 costs $799 and the 3XL costs $899. Starts at $899. So to put this at $489 is really incredible. You know, I've seen the early reviews and they're quite good. Not reviews, but early hands-on type of stuff, and it looks like a solid device. And what really concerns me is the camera, because other companies are really Motorola. Motorola owns that value for price market, depending on where you go in the lineup. Because the Moto G that's where you go if you want to spend $300 or less on a smartphone. It's hands down the best. So $400 to $500, I feel like this is going to own that market. And then obviously around that $600 price point, you get OnePlus. Pricing for phones has gotten a little weird because, well, really at this price, you're usually sacrificing camera. And that's why Google promising what it's promising for this with Nitesite and all that stuff is pretty impressive. And like I said, pricing's a little messed up. It was only a few years ago when a flagship phone cost $200 with a contract. Off contract, it was $650, maybe $600, maybe $700. But that subsidy brought you down to $200 with the contract. And so figure $450 discount if you promise to be with this carrier for 2 years. And your bill was higher as well. So when they got rid of contracts, they lowered your bill, and now they just spread everything out over 2 years, the price of the phone. So what's interesting is that now, like, remember iPhones, it was $200, $300, $400 for storage tiers. Now you just tell them, like, oh, it's just an extra $5 a month. And then your next phone, it's another $5 a month. And then another $5. And then the price gradually goes up because $5 a month is $120 over 2 years. And that turns a $650 phone into a $770 phone. So these prices just keep going up. And now flagship phones around $1,000, maybe $900. So the prices have went up a lot. OnePlus makes it particularly hard because they put a flagship phone in that $600 range, although it does have its setbacks for that. But they put a flagship phone in that $600 range, so you can't make a non-premium high-end device in that $600 range because now you're competing with OnePlus. And so that leaves that $300 to $400 range open. So $400, you're getting a Snapdragon 670 processor, 4 gigs of RAM, solid camera, 64 gigs of storage, and I'm not sure what else you'd want at that price. Like I said, this one's $479, and there's only one storage tier. It comes with 64 gigs, but it seems like Google's done a great job of putting that premium experience in that lower priced price point. So I'm curious now how they're going to push Pixel 3 or what they're going to do with Pixel 4. How are they going to differentiate Pixel 4 from the 3A? Because remember, it's not just going to be $100 more. It's going to be $400 more. It's going to be double the price. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. Oh, one last thing before we wrap this up. I did finish installing the Playground app, and it does not seem to be showing up in camera. So if you wanted that, that is one way that the Pixel 3 is differentiated. Not that that's a real differentiator in any meaningful way, but it was one thing that was pretty cool. So we'll see. I mean, I'm going to play with it later. Who knows? So that's it. I put my regular T-Mobile SIM in this. I did not put my Project Fi SIM in this. And the reason for that is because people have different phone numbers for me. You know, I have many phone numbers. I have like 3 SIM cards. And so the way it works is that I have one T-Mobile SIM, and then I have a Project Fi SIM that where people can text me through Google Hangouts, and it comes to all of my devices. And so some people have my regular T-Mobile number, and this is going to be the only phone that I use for the next couple of weeks. Well, at least for the next week until I get the OnePlus 7. But yeah, so I'm excited to try it out. At least the case is symmetrical on this. This is one thing I hated about this, is that the case was just a little off-centered on this, and it killed me. So yeah, so by the way, you can tell even the case is a little bit bulkier, which is actually kind of fine. You can see that the edges is a little raised, so which is cool because when you put it face down, your screen isn't going to get scratched. So anyway, like I said, I'll be playing with this. The case is thicker too. Like you can feel it when you hit the fingerprint sensor. All right, guys, I'm going to be playing with this for the next. It's going to be my only phone for the next week. I'll be playing with it for a few weeks, and then I'll have a review. And that's it. I'm Rich from NeoWin. Have a great night.